Welcome to Business Technicalities. This is Coffee Talk with Tom and Brett. How you doing, Brett?
I'm doing well. How you doing, Tom?
This is the first one we've done on the new channel, and we want to get back to doing these. And part of it is it's challenging being intentional with your day. So we seem that seems to be like a great topic to start with because, well, we intended to do this a while ago, and we intended to split the channel. And what makes things happen is when you put them down, put them in writing. And there's a few things, and Brett's going to start with what does Brett post every day on our internal chat messages?
Yeah, I'm always asking, what projects are you working on today? Because truly believe that in scheduling your day, and I don't want to call it time blocking, but it's time blocking. You need to know what's going on, what you're going to do, what projects you have, which ones you have to complete, which ones you have to continue on with. It's about being purpose driven, right? And intentional in what you do, whether it's your faith, your work, your life, your family, whatever. It's being intentional on your day, knowing having a plan every day, because if you don't have a plan every day to finish something, it's not going to get done.
Yeah, we do this kind of every morning. Brett posts in there, and we've
Yeah.
jokingly renamed it Brett's Daily Musing, but it's kind of it makes it fun because now people will participate in the musing post. And what we do is we don't want the details. As management, you want the high level stuff. What is the project? We're migrating this customer to here. Cool. I don't need the details. I don't need to know if you want to give me a percentage update, but as long as we know you're working on it, we're fine. It's that making sure everyone's on task, and then we can look at that task, because of course if that same task comes up too many times, then the question may come up, what's the hang up? Why isn't it done yet? But it's
Yeah.
understanding what each person's doing. We just do it at the start of each day, so then we can kind of plan out, all right, this is what we know people are assigned to. And occasionally people are like, hey, I finished that project yesterday, I'm kind of waiting on the next project. Well, cool, let's have a discussion about what that next project is.
Right. It gives us a chance to see what people are working on, because you and I, doing the operational stuff, you need to actually see at a high level what every person is working on. Because let's say they don't have a project. Well, what do we have that they can work on? What other things can we help them to be intentional during their day to learn more? One of the things you've done, Tom, very successfully is allowed your staff to learn more, to get better at what they do, and giving them that. And that was intentional on your part to do that, because if you train people, they're going to be able to do more things and help more of our clientele.
Yeah, we even schedule things like that, like lab time. We're going to build this particular server with this configuration because we have an
Mhm.
idea we want to test. Sometimes it's even for some content that may go on my YouTube video. Often it's for test scenarios for maybe a client. We're doing a proof of concept internally of how we want to test something. So even that gets scheduled. It's not like, when you get a chance, read in between. It's like, no, we intentionally set out
Mhm.
to do a project. We're going to intentionally test this scenario with these servers to make sure we understand how it works. We're going to build it all out. And it can be a training exercise for newer staff members or for other staff members that want to up their skill in a certain thing because maybe they're not familiar with the process that one of the other people are, and we'll assign them to do this. It's one of those things that everything, not just the projects that need to be
Mhm.
done because they're billable for clients or because we're under duress of getting them done because it's a patch that needs to be rolled out, but even the training things, we put these in there. And it just helps that focus that you have in a company to make sure everyone's on task and everyone's going forward with it.
You mentioned two really key things: focus and planning in that. And it was key, because planning doesn't just mean, oh, I'm thinking about doing this. It's writing it down. It's putting it on a task list. It's putting it on your calendar and being intentional about that, because putting it in writing, putting it down, gives you the opportunity to now get that done.
And don't think if you don't have employees, you don't need to do this. This structure will help you later when you hire employees. So if you are yourself doing this and you want to put, like I do, focus time
Mhm.
reading documentation. I'm going to read this book. I'm going to read something to up my knowledge level. I still put those things in my calendar, even though they're really for me. No one's really going to question what I'm doing. Maybe they will, but I doubt it.
I question it all the time, Tom. Come on.
But even for myself, I do that,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of blocked out focus time. Actually, I kind of like the way we use Google G Suite, and the Google Calendar gives me little pie charts for how I spent my day. It kind of becomes a way to gamify it. There's plenty of other applications that do that, but it's kind of a
Mhm.
way to make sure you're on task and understanding the intention you have of the day. Did you accomplish those goals? Did something disrupt you? And don't be afraid for that focus time to turn off notifications, block things out for a little while because the switching cost is high to jump between projects. There's the myth that you can just multitask between 20 things. Honestly, the switching cost of I'm focusing on this. Someone disrupted me over here. What page did I leave off on? What
Right.
concept did I stop? Is always higher than people think it is. And you really see and achieve better things when you take maybe it's even 2 hours or even 1 hour at a time to block out to focus on singular things, then spend 15 minutes replying to an email, then block out the next hour again. Just that whole focus and intention is so important to, the secret. So people ask, how do you get a lot of things done? Well, it's all scheduled to get done. And I
Yeah.
follow the schedule to do it. And I ignore other things during those schedules.
You have to be linear in this. You have to be linear because you can't you working on multiple projects at one time, you're not going to be as effective. Linear, get it done, go to the next. Get it done, go to the next.
Yeah, and you even can look at hyper successful individuals, and when you start diving into a lot of the routines, it's just that it's a routine. You're like, oh, they're doing a lot of context switching because they're managing multiple projects. Like, no, they focus on each one for a time slice. So you can look into pretty much any large successful CEO at some of these places, and you'll find a lot of patterns to that. As the way they handle their time is a big key to their success. So that's what we want to leave you with today and bring to you
Yep.
today was focus. And we, until we scheduled this, when we talked about doing it, didn't happen. It's when we set it in the schedule and said, this is when we're recording this. That's when it happened.
That's right. Be intentional, everyone.
All right. Thanks. And leave comments down below about the channel and other things you want to hear on here. Appreciate it.